Hello，Hello everyone. It's 10 a.m. UTC. Too harsh for many people. Mm. Can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, it's good here.
Hello, George. Yeah. So I posted the agenda and meeting notes in the chat. So I only edit some spec items. So I think today we have Barnabas here, and we can probably talk about the definite status firstly. What do you think, Barnabas?
I think we can only start talking about DevNet status once we have client releases somewhat ready.
I see.
And we
So,
were saying that client releases should be doing Alpha 3 release. I'm not sure if anyone or if all of them are ready to go.
does any client teams wants to share your new release updates or for the PeerDAS part?
So is this an official release or?
The Alpha 3? Yeah. Or like I just need a branch. I don't need an official release. I just need a working branch. And I think for Prism, it is already working.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
We could also just launch a DevNet without all the clients included, if that's what we want.
So is it time to for kind things to make a commit about like when will the PeerDAS branch be ready? Barnabas, which kind software that you don't are not available for you now for the definite? Is there a checklist?
Lodestar Nimbus and Grandine was not ready. Last I checked.
I see. Anyone's in this call want to share the updates?
I can share the update for Prism since last 2 weeks. Yeah, we worked a little bit on reconstruction right now. When a node receives 50% of the column, the node reconstructs immediately all the matrix, but waits for 3 seconds into the slot before sending back the columns the node should have received, but columns the node did not actually receive. Before we were reseeding all the columns immediately, now we wait for 3 seconds into the slots. It is about reconstruction. And we made some progress on sampling as well. Before about sampling, we were just iterating over peers until a peer give us the column we need, which is to quote a famous researcher, like if we toss a coin until we like the result. And we implemented last week lossy DAS / incremental DAS. For that, we used actually the function get extended sample count, which is not yet merged, but which seems to work quite well. And so yes, we implemented the lossy DAS / incremental DAS, and what we have to do yet is to sample nodes, to sample peer in parallel. Right now, we sample peers one by one, and especially if once we meet a super node, basically we sample all the columns from this super node, which is not the good way to do. But we are working on parallel samplings. Yep, it is an update for Prism for the last 2 weeks.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I can give an update on Lighthouse. This is Jimmy. Yeah, I got the team right this time. So on the Lighthouse side, we have implemented the latest spec, so including a passing test for the spec 1.5.0 Alpha 3. We've updated the custody subnet count, ENR key and format to match the latest spec. So I think we are probably DevNet 1 ready, except for syncing. We're currently looking to a range sync issue. Hopefully we have that fixed before we launch DevNet 1. And we've also made some improvement to reconstruction. We've made just a bit of improvement on making it like non-blocking, so we can continue to process other gossip data columns coming in while we perform reconstruction. So that's work in progress. Currently, we're doing a bit of testing on that. Yeah, so I think with DevNet 1 ready, the branch is the same branch, Barnabas. We're still working off the DAS branch. Same branch, I can link it later as well. And I've been running a local DevNet for about 4 days now, and it's for 4 nodes, and it still seems to be working okay. Just continue testing a bit as well. Also, we've got Kev like building a PeerDAS KZG library integration for us. So he's got it integrated into Lighthouse. So we're probably going to try to test it out. So just as a fallback from CKZG, that we can do a bit of testing on the new Rust PeerDAS KZG library and see how it goes. And then we also plan to work on checkpoint sync in the near future. What else? I think if I get some time, we'll probably try to do a bit of experiment on fetching blobs from the EL mempool, so we could help with reconstruction from the supernode. Michael from our team has been doing a bit of experiment on that. Hopefully we can port that over to PeerDAS soon. Yeah, I think that's all from Lighthouse. I'll pass on to the next team.
Thank you. Any other client updates today?
I could do a quick update for Teku. We have updated to be compatible with Alpha 3 spec, and we revoke DAS sampler now because it had some issues with implementation. Will merge soon in a few days, I hope. That's all.
Dimitri, the branch is still correct?
Yeah, the branch is the same, yeah.
Okay.
Any other client updates on PeerDAS? Nope. Okay, then we can move to the spec discussion. Or is there any other questions, issues of the definite one?
Looks like Brandon just joined in. Maybe they have a status update?
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry for late joining late. So we still have some issues not solved, and my question is, how ready are the other clients right now? Probably it was disclosed early in the call. Maybe somebody could do a very short summary.
Prism Lighthouse Teku is ready.
Okay, so 3 clients are ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, and do you have a date in mind for DevNet 1?
I mean, we can launch without all clients being ready, and then clients that are not ready can join in later. So that's not a
Yeah,
problem.
but was it discussed the potential date for launching with 3
I
clients?
mean, based on the feedback now, I think we can even launch it today or tomorrow.
Oh, okay. For me, it's okay if it will be decided to launch only with 3 clients and the rest will join. That's we support that idea.
Cool. Any other questions about definite one? Okay, then let's move to the spec discussion. So I think the most interesting discussion that is related to the PeerDAS is the block max limit. How to pass that number to EL, as we talked last time. So I guess since it would be it will also be an EL update, so we will also talk about it on the Thursday call. But so far, there are 2 open PRs in the space. One is 13800 that Alex Stokes proposed, which is it passed the max block block parameter to EL. And the second one is Downside proposed yesterday. This one will calculate the best free per block gas in the CL side, and then pass that number to the EL. Yeah, I don't know if people had the chance to review it or not.
I have seen both the PRs, and I would basically favor passing max blob gas limit and sort of then having target half of it and EL doing the rest of the computation. So basically, this is like the first solution, and for the second solution, I mean CL computing and passing blob gas. I'm basically less inclined to it. That is my opinion on the matter.
So Otus had a comment that we will have to do math with U to 56. I'm not sure if that's a problem.
Sorry, the line could you repeat again?
That we would have to do math with U into 56. And I don't think consensus clients have that, do they?
Currently not. It's nowhere in the spec that we have to handle U into 56.
I mean, anyway, this particular PR should be orthogonal to PeerDAS, and I mean, I ideally would basically favor any of the two solutions to go in Pectra, so that basically PeerDAS can use it. So PeerDAS basically is orthogonal to it, right? So, but yes, the activation can of increase of the blobs can happen according to the plan that we can bake in PeerDAS, but ideally this PR should go in Pectra.
Any reason this should be in Pectra and not together with the fork in PeerDAS?
It's not possible to be in the fork with PeerDAS because it's technically a consensus change, so it has to happen in Pectra.
Yeah, first PeerDAS is not a fork, and then I think it's better that it should go just with Pectra so that whatever is the blob rollout limit, even without PeerDAS, it can be independently rolled out. Or again paired with PeerDAS. PeerDAS is just a totally orthogonal feature with respect to this particular PR.
Makes sense. So which solution is actually preferred by the client teams?
I think one is better because you wouldn't have to do the blob gas arithmetic in the CL. We could leave it to the EL as it is right now.
I would also favor one line, but what do you think? Which solution do you like?
On-chain voting by validators.
That actually can happen in solution one. For example, if there is an EL contract, like for example, we have for 7702, where the gas fee, etc., is sort of decided by the contract, because I mean there is this particular formula, but if there is an EL contract where you send the transactions to for the blob, and that can decide the blob gas whatever the transaction has to pay. So whatever is the logic, whether it's a limit raised by some on-chain voting or by some upgradation of the contract, I mean, that would be particularly nice and would sort of be consensus hard fork free.
Any other feedback? All right, so you can put it on the Thursday's coast agenda as well to have a deeper discussion. And meanwhile, please take a look at the PR and maybe add some comments, emoji, signal like your favorite solutions here. Okay. So the next thing that I like to check is what's a PR. Sorry, finding the link. Okay. So it's this PR by Chaba. So I added some tests, and so far the correctness looks good to me, and I wonder if people in favor of merging it, or is there any issue with this PR?
Yeah, just for information, Prism already implemented this get extending sample cons function, and yeah, it works well for us.
Would you use it in your PeerDAS, I mean, DevNet 1
Yeah,
scenario?
yeah, it is currently in the
Oh,
PeerDAS
cool.
branch, and we use it for incremental DAS / lossy DAS.
Oh, any other feedback? Oh, okay, if there's no issue, I plan to merge it before Thursday. Thank you. Any other spec discussion? Any specs that issues that we want to discuss today, or the cryptography part as well?
I also have another PR, which is I think it's the 92. Let me see. No, 94. Which is this one. Yep, thanks. So that's about the reconstruction and cross-seeding. So that goes into the direction that was mentioned at the very beginning of the call. I was adding things on delaying reconstruction and on seeding based on reconstruction. but obviously I think it can use some input based on experiences, what can be recommended there, what should be left to implementation to the point that it's not even part of the spec. But please check.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that PR is also like ready to merge. Nice to have. So if there's no objection, I can also merge it before Thursday. Okay. Any other big discussion today? Okay, and then any other open discussion about PeerDAS?
Yeah, I have a question about DevNet. Would it be beneficial if we increase the blob count just to test out how the bandwidth looks like with PeerDAS? Like without the EL chain. Yeah.
Wouldn't we need the EL change for that?
Maybe we could change the hard-coded constant in the EL. I'm not sure what's the best approach. If we don't make any change in EL, does it just give us like wrong gas prices?
Maybe. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. We could try to increase it, but do we even have now a variable that could be changed? Config var?
I believe it's currently a preset value, so I think some clients support changing preset, but some clients don't. Lighthouse does it. So we could like do a custom build for that test.
I would actually first move that to a config variable and then potentially discuss if we want to change that. So like,
Yeah, this is an indication. We should not make the same error with blobs. So we should make the data structures have some value that's a very high upper bound, and then have as a config the actual limit of columns. Same we were doing with blobs.
could we get a PR for that in the consensus spec? And then I can make a adjustment for that
Sure.
in our Genesis generator. And is it actually configurable by every client then? Should we make that a spec requirement basically? Like, do we want this to be something for DevNet 1 or should we like launch DevNet 1 today without it? That's basically the question.
I think it'd be better to launch DevNet 1 without it. If we do have it, it would take a bit of work for us to make it like a config variable. Like unless we're okay with delaying DevNet 1 by like a week or so.
Yeah, I don't. We can just launch that one with this and then do tests with higher counts later. So no need to wait for this.
All right, then I will spin up DevNet 1 with similar validator setups as DevNet 0, and then let's see how stable that's going to be. And then for DevNet 2, we could probably have this adjusted and hopefully have like a new spec for it ready.
Another topic that I think it's relevant to mention. So Michael Sproul has an initiative to help peers access blob data before they can do now. The trick is that instead of expecting blobs to come through gossip, you can just go to the mempool of blobs in the execution client and just fetch them from there. He has a proof of concept for that with both a modification on Lighthouse and Ref, because we need some new engine API route to expose blobs to be fetched that way. But in our tests, it shows that we can retrieve blobs really, really fast. Maybe like in 20 milliseconds or 30 milliseconds after we get the blob. Sorry. So this can be a game changer for basically people that are in locations with high latency, like Asia Pacific, or constrained clients in home stakers that don't have too much bandwidth and they already have the blobs. This can significantly help them make the correct votes and not be like penalized for high bandwidth. So I think that can also apply to PeerDAS, because if you get all the blobs, then you can consider the thing available. Even though you don't have the columns at the moment, you can eventually compute from there. I think that's going to help a lot to equalize the playing field for people with different bandwidths.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. So I've been looking at the blob mempool of my local node, and I do see a lot of blob transactions floating about. So it makes a lot of sense to just use these transactions rather than waiting for it to come through gossip. So I'll be for this idea.
Any other feedback?
I think it sounds very good. I think this is the one that was discussed also in Discord, as I understand. My question is what information you use there to construct it from the mempool? So how the node puts it together? It was not clear to me. Maybe it's just my ignorance.
So if you get the Bitcoin block, you have a list of commitments that you can use. So we still haven't settled in if we are going to index by transaction hash or the version hash. But I hope we do version hash, because otherwise we need to make consensus plans aware of LLP encoding to tell the EL, hey, give me these transactions. I think it will be easy that you just compute the version hashes from the commitments and then tell the EL, hey, give me this list of blobs for this list of version hashes that I got from the blob. And then from that, for the net, straightforward, you get the blobs. For PeerDAS, you would have to compute the extensions and then do all the proofs to get all the sidecars. So I'm not sure if there is a way to, like, let's say that this feature will be used, I would imagine, will be more interesting for people that don't have a high custody requirement. So having to do all the work for 2 columns just doesn't sound too good, but that's an optimization. It should still be faster.
Nice. Thanks.
Which, sorry, just to clarify, the way I want to implement this in Lighthouse is, at least for PeerDAS, so you would ask the EL for the blobs, and then when you get the blobs, you will optimistically, whatever that words means to you, consider that block to be a viable head before you get the columns. And then on the background, you will compute the column sidecars. So there will be some window of time that you have already attested, but you still don't have your custody requirements. So hopefully the time delta is less than what peers will be asking for you on P3. But yeah, if for some reason it takes too long, you would be announcing to the network that you have some data that you don't have, and you could be penalized or downscored or delay sampling. But I don't think that should be too much of a problem.
If some clients are going to do this and others not, there could be an issue that we will not actually check. Was it actually distributed or not?
Sorry, I didn't got that.
So say if Lighthouse and Prism will use this trick, yeah, and data was not actually distributed, all Lighthouse and Prism will think that it was distributed. But other clients which did not implement it will not see data available.
No, because it will be distributed actually, just not by the one who was supposed to distribute it. So it will get onto the gossip sub, right? So it will be.
Yeah, the way for this mechanism to fail is if you propose a block which includes a block transaction and you don't reveal this block transaction. That's the only way for this trick to fail. In that case, when you have your list of version hashes and you ask the EL for them, then you will get an error because the EL has not received this block transaction, and then the trick will not work. But if all the blobs have been made available and distributed on the mempool, then data is available.
So you're kind of decentralizing the calculation of the extended structure.
Exactly, because if you have the blob, you can always compute the extension.
But when it comes in on gossip sub or when it comes in the sampling, you are always validating it against the commitment. So it cannot be something not formally part of the structure. The nodes which are not doing this trick don't even know that this trick is being done. You just don't see the difference because you are having a few neighbors. One of them will do this or will get it from someone who is doing it. And then it comes in on gossip sub like if it would have been sent out by the block producer. It's binary equivalent, so you don't see the difference.
Lion, do you have any document or write up to the proposal or as a to do on your very long list?
No, I do not, but I can make one.
Good. Thank you. Nishant, do you want to talk? You are muted.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so I just had a tangential question. In the bandwidth estimates that we have done, I've noticed that mostly encompasses the consensus layer. But do we know how much bandwidth the execution layer would take up in terms of, transactions propagated?
I guess that question is to Lion.
Yeah, I guess for
I
anyone
don't-
who can
I don't
answer.
know.
Because like for gossip sub, we know the amplification is, roughly like 6 to 8. But in the execution layer, let's say you have full dank sharding and you're sending out like 256 blobs, every slot. Do you know how much amplification comes from that?
There seems to be no EL that's here, so just ask on Discord. But I would imagine at that time, if we have so many data, then people that are bandwidth constrained will not be producing logs. So then you can just disable the mempool.
But wouldn't PeerDAS be effective for them because now they're getting saturated by trying to basically propagate these blobs in the EL, and all our work's like
So
optimizing the CL.
right, blobs work a bit different. They are not propagated by default. You have to. So it works like on Gossip, the I have I want. You have to actually tell your peer to actually send you the blob transactions. So if you want, you can opt out of the bandwidth for blob transaction.
Is this implemented in EL, or is this like just a suggestion right now?
This is implemented since the net.
Oh, okay. Right.
But I would imagine that now all clients pull the blob transactions, but as the spec is written today, you don't have to do that if you want to. So that could be like a flag on Get. I'm not sure if it already exists.
Okay. Because I was monitoring Get's mempool, and I basically got every single blob transaction that was included in the network. So I was thinking if the average node runner doesn't know about this, they're going to be incurring a huge amount of bandwidth if we increase the blob count.
Any other feedback? So Barnabas wants everyone to check if these parameters are correct. Please take a look in the chat.
Yeah, I've
And
also
do
put
we
it on
have
Discord,
any-
so we don't have it lost.
Yeah, and do we have any other topics to discuss today?
Actually, I want to ask, Barnabas, what's the plan for the DevNet structure? Are we planning to run multiple supernodes per client? I think it may be useful to have a few more supernodes than last time, so we don't just fork out because we can't get the columns. I think that's what happened to DevNet 0.
What is the proposed structure? So I'm thinking of launching 3 Lighthouse, 3 Prism, 3 Teku nodes, each with 100 validator. So that would be 900 validators, plus 1 extra node from each of the non-working clients, so that they will be able to debug on the nodes. So would we want 1 super node per each working client? Would 3 total super nodes be sufficient?
I think at a minimal it would be ideally 2 per client, if just in case if we do an upgrade and and don't start again. At least we'll still have 1 working. But yeah, I think 1 per client would be nice. I think we already have 3. That would probably be better than just 1 or 2.
Okay. So I think I know what the flag is for Lighthouse, but I'm not sure if I know the flag for the other clients. Could you maybe drop it in Discord? This is for Lighthouse, I know that, but I'm not sure about Prism and Teku.
I will send to Discord.
I'm sorry?
I will send to Discord for Teku.
Okay.
I also have a question about withholding some columns for a block proposer. Is it possible, yes, for at least some nodes to enable the withhold flag in order to be sure that the reconstruction is working well for other nodes and for sure for super nodes? On Prism, we have an option. We have a flag. If you use it, it will prevent the proposing nodes to seed all the columns.
So it seems other clients doesn't have such flag.
I think Lighthouse has this hack for at least Lighthouse, Prism as well. I don't know for other clients.
Yeah, I think it'll be useful to test it out.
Let's keep discussing it on the Discord. Any other topics for today? No? No? Okay, thank you for joining the call. Thank you for making it. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.